Hey there, camping enthusiast. It's Darren again in my 2022 213 RDS. Going to do a quick video on over-the-air high-definition television. And the reason I'm going to do this is viewing forums and stuff, I've heard many questions and complaints about after you get your RV trailer or camper set up. Some places you get really crappy reception on your cable TVs, whether you're using your antenna or if you're plugged in, at a campsite on the shore, cable receptacle there. I'm a novice camper. This is my first camp trailer, and we haven't even taken it out yet. We've had a pop-up, but it doesn't matter. I have an audio-video company for 22 years. So what I'm about to tell you is something that it's not a secret, but I'd say out of 22 years I've been doing this, I probably have met 2 clients that even know what I'm talking about. And what I'm getting ready to talk about is the Terminator. Not the movie, not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but a 75 ohm Terminator. So get on with it. What are we talking about? So in my particular camper, I've got 2 what some people call cable box receptacles, F connector, cable connector, wall plate, whatever you want to call it. Terminology is this is an F connector wall plate, specifically for cable television and coaxial cable wire. This is coaxial cable wire. It runs from my wall plate to the back of my TV. Behind this plate, and this is a special plate. This one here has a button on it, right there, that engages or powers on the antenna on top of the trailer. And what I'm getting ready to show you also applies to commercial and residential properties as well, a home, a house, or a business. So in my particular camper, I've got 2 of these. I've got one here, which is the kitchen area, dining area, and sitting area. The other one's back in the main bedroom. We're not going to use the main bedroom one. Matter of fact, the power receptacle and the F connector receptacle are going to get covered by a nice canvas picture of my wife and I near the Cliff of Moors in Ireland. So this is where the Terminator comes into play. If you have more than one of these type of connector wall plates and you're not using that extra 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 12, depending on your application, your house, or whatever, then you are losing signal. It's basically like having a garden hose. Imagine this being a garden hose. One end connects to the faucet you turn on. The other end, the water comes shooting out, right? And then you poke holes all throughout this hole, all throughout this hose. So all the water squirting out. Same principle applies to the radio signal, the RF signal coming through this wire from here back to your television. Okay, so the signal's coming out of this from your antenna, right, to your television. So if this is not properly terminated or in use with a cable connected to a device like your TV, then you're losing your signal. So if you're at a campsite, you're already getting a crappy signal to begin with, and now you've got 1 or more of these that aren't being used. You're just sitting here trying to watch one television and your picture keeps freezing up because a digital image these days freeze. You get a picture or you don't. As you know, before digital technology, we all had to adjust the antenna, climb up on the roof of the attic, or move the rabbit ears to get a picture. Then you get them vertical lines and fuzz and all that. No more. You either get a picture or you don't. So how do we correct that? So let's pretend. Yeah, it's just like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. We're going to pretend. So what I'm doing is I'm just unscrewing the coaxial cable that I have in place for my TV off the wall. All right, so this is what you usually see. You see these in your house, see these everywhere. So if you see one of these in your home and it's not being used, you need to have what's called a terminator. This is a package I got off of Amazon. These are just F-type 75 ohm. It says satellite TV, RF, radio frequency port end caps. And this is what it looks like. Just like that. Almost looks like a nut with a little nipple top on it. But if you look a little bit closer, it's got a wire. There you go. It's got a wire just like you would have on the end of your coaxial cable. Look very similar. Yeah. And in this is a resistor, a 75 ohm resistor. So this mimics that you have something plugged into here. So I turn on my antenna, and if we had a magic camera, we could see the radio frequency coming in, being broadcasted from the antenna, just coming out, going nowhere. So the one in my bedroom is just flooding my bedroom with just unnecessary radio frequency, which means I'm getting less volume, I'm getting less pressure, I'm getting less radio frequency out of here. So how do I correct that? I simply put on the F connector Terminator, and it just screws on there. It's not rocket science. It is when you have a phone in your hand and you can't line it up. Okay, so that's all it is. So every one of these that's in your house that's not being used, your guest bedroom, the spare bedroom, the extra bedroom, the kids' bedrooms that moved off and went to college, if it's not got a TV hooked up to it, put a Terminator on it. And what that's going to do is it's going to direct all the signal that you're getting out of your antenna to the most important places it needs to go. And that's the TVs that you're using. Again, in my case, I'm only using one television. So if you want to split differences, if I uncap this, and I'm not going to account for scientific, resistance and all that kind of crap, but half my power is going here, half my radio frequencies coming out of the bedroom down there, which I'm not even using and will never probably use. So it just makes sense to block off that one over there, which I've already done. So I'm just showing you this because I've already taken the wall plate off, I've covered up this, and I've put my canvas picture over it already. So 75 ohm Terminator, you can buy these at Walmart. They come like in a, not Walmart, Home Depot, because I hate Lowe's, but Home Depot, I think you get a package of 5 of these for some overpriced number. I want to say, let's say 5 for $10, all right? You go to Amazon, you can get a package of what? These are 25, and I use this in business, so I go through a package of these real fast with my clients, and they are always shocked, like, oh my gosh, that makes a huge difference. Now suddenly I've got a picture in my bedroom that was way up there. I thought I had to go buy an antenna booster. No. Antenna booster is just going to help you boost more energy and more frequency out into the rooms that aren't being used. Just this cheap little Terminator is all you need, and it just screws on there. Once you've got it on there, take a pair of pliers and tighten it down, okay? If you don't use this and you're just using cable TV like this, after you've screwed this on by hand, take a pair of pliers and snug it down good. You want it, don't crank it, just snug it, because you want a good tight signal there. You don't want to loosen you shouldn't be able to unloosen it by hand. It should be tight enough to where once you remove the tool, you cannot unscrew that with your fingers. So hopefully that's going to help you guys a little bit. Just remember, 75 ohm Terminator, you can get them at Home Depot in a package of like 5. Buy them on Amazon. If you got a house and you've got plenty of them, have extras, no big deal. But in the end, it should help correct signal loss. So if you're at that fringe where your TV's kind of fading in, or not fading in out, but kind of pixelating now and then while you're watching it, the over-the-air channels, local channels, stuff that you're coming on the antenna, then this is probably going to fix your problem. All right. If you're streaming networks, if you're streaming through the network, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, that's a different animal, okay? Because typically you're streaming wirelessly through the internet, or you're plugged into directly with a Cat 5 or Cat 6, Cat 7 cable to a modem router. So that's a whole different story. If we have questions and people are having issues with Wi-Fi in campers and trailers, I'll be more than happy to post something about that. But for right now, over-the-air antennas, you need to have terminators on wall plates not being used. Cable TV at home, Xfinity, Comcast, Sure West, Dish Network, DirecTV, any of those cable companies. If you have wall plates that are not being used, terminate them. That will strengthen your cable signal to all your other televisions. Okay? Hope that helps somebody, and I appreciate everything you guys post because it helps me learn too. So, rock and roll.